My time has expired, so I'm going to yield now, but I'm looking forward to getting something in writing that satisfies my expectations about precision and some sense of certainty about what timelines are. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Senator Cruz.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Congratulations to each of the nominees. Welcome. Admiral Phillips, I want to follow up on the conversation you and I had yesterday. As you know, I have significant concerns over the Biden administration's ongoing attack on the energy industry and the negative impact it is already having on energy production in the state of Texas. In this case, I'm concerned also about how it could impact the application process for deep water ports licensing. As of November 15th, there are 5 pending applications under review through MARAD's Deep Port Licensing Program. 4 of those 5 are off of the coast of Texas: Blue Marlin, Blue Water, Gulf Link, and Seaport Oil Terminal. Together, these projects create thousands of jobs and billions of dollars in economic benefit. Once operational, these deepwater ports increase our energy export capabilities, establish greater energy security, and support the environment by displacing highly polluting foreign sources of energy. Even though the U.S. energy-related CO2 emissions have declined by 15% since 2007, and they continue to decline, President Biden and his appointees have been deeply hostile to any and all projects involved in the transport of oil or natural gas. I am concerned that the administration's approach will be extended to the deepwater projects that contribute to the state of Texas, to economic and energy security of the nation, and to the national security interest of the nation. Admiral Phillips, if confirmed, you will be in a position at MARAD to approve or to deny applications for port project licenses. Knowing the benefit that these projects bring to the U.S. economy and to our national security, if they meet the statutory requirements, should they be approved?
Senator Cruz, thank you for your question, and thank you for your time yesterday. I appreciate it. As you are aware, and I am not yet in the building, however, MARAD, under the Deepwater Ports Act of 1974, does review through a system jointly co-chaired by MARAD and the Coast Guard, a 9-step process to achieve a record of decision, which then, in theory, would allow a program to move forward, should the conditions of that record of decision be met. The Maritime Administration, as I understand, follows the law in that process and works through that 9-step process to achieve a record of decision, working with stakeholders, with applicants, and with a number of federal agencies. Should I have the honor to be confirmed, I commit to continuing a fair and equitable review of that process under the law to move processes forward to achieve a record of decision.
So you gave me the same answer yesterday in my office, that you would follow the law, and my question is, if these applications meet the legal and statutory requirements, should they be approved?
Senator, thank you for that question. Without being in the building and without having detailed knowledge of each of these applications and their outcomes, I can commit to you that we will review them fairly and equitably, and we will follow the law to complete the process.
So you're not willing to say if they meet the statutory requirements, they should be approved?
Should I have the honor to be confirmed and have actual sight of these applications and the outcomes and records of decision?
Yesterday you said you'd follow the statute. I'm asking if they meet the statutory requirements, should they be approved?
And I am committing to you that we will follow the law and we will review them fairly and equitably to achieve a decision.
Okay, that does not sound like a yes. Do you share the hostility to oil and gas that so many other Biden administration appointees do?
Senator, thank you for that question. I cannot answer the specifics of others.
Do you have a hostility to oil and gas?
The Maritime Administration will review
Okay,
applications.
I'm asking you
fairly.
personally, do you have a hostility to oil and gas projects?
Senator, I look forward to working with your staff in a
Okay,
bipartisan
so you're refusing to
way
answer that? This is a
determine
yes or no
outcomes to this
question. Do you have a hostility to oil and gas projects? This should be a pretty simple question.
Senator, I do not have a hostility to following the law and reviewing the process as defined in the law.
I didn't ask you that. I asked, do you have a hostility to oil and gas projects?
And Senator, I am thanking you for your question, and I am stating that I will follow the law fairly and equitably.
So you're
which means
refusing to
there will
answer
not
that
be a
question. That's
bias
highly
in the outcome.
disappointing that you're not even willing to say you don't have a hostility to those projects. That is deeply concerning.
Senator Cruz, I think she's saying that she's going to follow whatever the administration.
No, she's not. I'm asking if she has a hostility to oil and gas. It would be very easy. If you asked a witness, do you have a hostility to airplane manufacturing, and they refused to answer that, I'd be willing to bet you'd be pretty upset at that.
Look, I think we just made a record investment in port infrastructure, and I believe in
And the Biden administration
economy.
is signaling out Texas and refusing to invest in Texas.
Well, I think she's saying she's going to get in there and see what the law requires. So
No,
I would
no,
like.
she's not.
Well, I'd like to move to Senator Markey if I could. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to, Dr. Cliff, put a focus right now on the issue of seatback safety. CBS put a spotlight on this problem, and I think it's important for us to get it done, put safety first once and for all. And inside of the infrastructure bill, there is a provision which I authored, working with Senator Blumenthal, to deal with the fact that there is an antiquated and ineffective standard for seatback integrity. The front seats of cars often collapse after a crash, sending these seats and their occupants careening into the back seat of the car, oftentimes with children in those back seats. These kids are essentially hit by a projectile, which is the front seat of a car, coming towards them, and tragically, these seats kill about 50 children a year in the United States and have been doing so for years. Unconscionably, the auto industry has refused to address this crisis for more than 50 years, despite having data from NHTSA showing that it could cost less than $5 per seat to fix the problem. Thankfully, we have now passed the legislation and sent over the authority to NHTSA to deal with this problem. Dr. Cliff, will you prioritize seatback safety and advance this rulemaking as quickly as possible?
Senator Markey, thank you for that question. Absolutely. If I'm confirmed, I will prioritize the leadership that you've provided in the bipartisan infrastructure law to advance rulemaking.